Hi, everyone. So I'm here to drop in and share a little message of encouragement that, I really hope that will build, strengthen, edify, encourage, empower you. Anytime I come on here, it's because, I have something that I really want to share from my heart. And if you see me looking a little sweaty, it's because I just came from the gym. And while I was there, the Lord ministers to me a lot through everyday situations. So, I'd be going through my day and, something would happen. And then, the Lord would just start ministering to me, using that situation to make it relevant to me. And more, as I go along this journey of life, I understand why Jesus spoke in parables. I mean, if you think about a parable, it really relates to a real life situation so that if you can understand it from a real life perspective rather than just telling somebody something or giving them a piece of advice. So, what I have to share, it really comes from the experience I had this morning at the gym. Now, we know that, the gyms were closed for so long because of COVID and even when they open back as safe zones and that sort of thing. So, haven't been to the gym in like maybe 2 years or so. So going back and starting back was a challenge, how tough it is to get your body back in shape, especially where it comes to weight training. Now, this morning, while I was working out, I'm certain that there are people out there who hate weights, and I am one of them, but I understand the necessity of having weights, or doing weight training. It's absolutely necessary. So this morning, I was doing the chest press, and that's one of the things that I absolutely hate because it's one of the machines that challenges me the most, and it gives me the most pain, and it gives me the most, difficulty. And, it got me to thinking, and the Lord started to minister to me, there is a concept in weight training called failure. And for those who know, about weight training, this will be familiar to you. And if you don't know, I'm just going to explain it a bit. So in training your muscles, for them to get stronger, we use the weight, which is resistance. And resistance builds your muscle. And how this happens is by the process of your when you do a weight, you have fibers in your muscle. Now, when you lift the weight, your muscle gets pressured. And when your muscles get pressured, they reach a point where they can't take the pressure anymore. And the fibers in the muscle, they would tear. And when they tear, that's when the concept of failure comes in. Failure in weight training is a good thing. You must reach failure in order for your muscles to grow. And this is what, the Lord just opened up my mind to understand how this applies in real life situations. And as the title of this video said, don't waste a battle, allow yourself to become a spiritual heavyweight. So again, I was saying that when you train with weights and your muscles tear, the fibers in the muscles tear, then you go and you rest, and then the muscle, it heals itself. The fibers, but in order to heal itself, it becomes thicker. The band of the fiber becomes thicker to be able to face that. So your body is very resilient. So your body would heal the muscle, would fix back the fiber in the muscle, would add, the fiber would get thicker. And that way, your muscle becomes stronger, and also you will start to see the physical results. You see your muscles get toned up and that kind of thing. But just think about it. If failure didn't occur, the muscle would not grow. And just like that, in real life, people think that failure is a bad thing. But in reality, failure can be used to grow you, can be used to grow you in every aspect of your life, in your spiritual life, in your mental, capacity, emotionally, everything. Failure is not a bad thing. It's how you apply the failure to your life is what matters. So Just like, as I said, when you are training in weights, it hurts, it's painful, you want to stop, you reach that point where you can't lift anymore, and you need that. If you could lift all the weights, and you could, with weight training, there are sets and there are reps. So you go, maybe let's just use a bicep curl for example. If you're doing a bicep curl, you would do 3 sets of 10. I'm just using an example. And your weight would be, let's say, 10 pounds or whatever it is, right? Now, in order for that to be effective, you need, on the 3rd set, you need to not be able to finish the set. If you can finish the set comfortably, that means that you need a heavier weight. That means that your muscle can take that weight. So you need to upgrade to heavier weight, maybe 15 pounds or so that you will experience failure, so that you will experience growth in that muscle. And in real life situations, we go through so much battles, and then we come out of it just like when you're training at a weight, and we become stronger, don't we? So when God allows, sometimes we say we're serving God. God, I'm serving you, I'm praying. Why are these things happening to me? But God allows these painful situations in our life to grow us. It is necessary, just like in weight training. These situations are necessary for our growth, because we live in a fallen world. We live in a world that we are going to be constantly faced with battles. We are not living in a perfect world. We are living in a fallen world. And this is why God equips us to live our best life in this fallen world by growing us spiritually, by growing us mentally, by growing us emotionally. So when you go through a situation, it's because your mental, physical, emotional being is being trained with that weight. The weight represents a stress. And as the pressure is applied to you, you grow, you break. Yes, you reach that failure point. You can't take it anymore. I'm sure you've been in situations where you feel like you're going mad. It's like, why am I going through this, Lord? I don't understand. But this is where we need to be aware, to stop asking the question, Lord, why am I going through this? And ask ourselves, what are you trying to teach me? Because every step of the way, when God allows situations, it's because he's trying to teach us something. He's trying to grow us. He's trying to make us stronger, so that the next time that situation comes around, you are not going to be defeated. You are not going to think the same way. When that situation comes around, you're going to be able to handle it better. And just as weight training, every time you train and you become comfortable with a weight, you have to upgrade. You have to go a couple of weeks later. You can't keep going with that same weight, else you would just remain at that same place. So similarly in life, God allows every step and every stage and every season of growth. Our battles become tougher, but it's only to make us stronger in that season. And I'm certain if you look back, like I look back at myself now to last year, and the mental stability and the emotional strength and even the spiritual strength that I have now, I did not have that at this time last year. But because of the situations that I faced over the past year, I got to a place of being a lot stronger, a lot more resilient. Things don't affect me like they used to. However, there will be things that will affect me. And that's why in the next season, God is going to allow situations that is going to shake me up and test me and try me and push me and break me to the point of failure, that I will grow again. But if only I choose to understand what that battle was meant to do for me. Because battles can come and it can wreck you and it can make you fall apart if you don't take that battle and you use it and ask God, what are you trying to teach me? What are you trying to birth out of me? Is it patience? Is it long suffering? Is it kindness? Is it just that, you're trying to teach me, Lord, to think differently? Sometimes it's just, God is trying to teach us to think differently. And we need to really go to him every time we are going through something. Go to God and ask him, Father, what are you trying to teach me? And he will show you what he's trying to teach you. And after you train a little bit in the gym, when you do weights, how do you feel the next couple of days? Listen to me. Sometimes when you do leg work, you can't walk the next day. It's so painful because your muscles have gone through that rigorous, tearing and microfiber tearing in the muscle because you reach that failure point. So a couple of days you're dragging, you can't walk, you're in pain. But a few days after that, what happens? The pain goes away, and when you look in the mirror, you say, "Hey, my legs look a little better tone," and you just start to feel better. You start to walk better. You start to feel a little more confident about yourself because you're seeing results. And similarly, when you go through the fire, when you go through the testings, when you go through battles in life and situations happen, and you're asking God, "Why?" No, stop asking why. Ask, "What, Lord? What am I supposed to be learning from this?" Is it a mindset change? Is it that you're trying to move me from one place to the next? What is it? But God is always faithful, and He will show you what He is trying to teach you in a situation. And I'm going to give you an example. Over the past year, I had a situation where I went through intense persecution from people who I was in ministry with at the church I was in before. I went through intense persecution under the hands of these people. And at that time, it was so heartbreaking. It was heart-wrenching. Mentally, I went through months of crying, of feeling betrayed, of feeling heartbroken, of feeling angry. And I wanted to lash out, and I wanted to, retaliate because they were accusing me of stuff that I know I didn't do. And, they were banding up together, and they were just it was horrible. They were dragging my name. They were saying things about me. They were posting things about me. And it was a really tough situation. And I had to really pull myself together to not be able to do what I used to do in the past, which would have been retaliate, lash out, that kind of thing. But now, because I am walking in the Lord, and I'm trying to grow in the Lord, and I'm trying to be the way He wants me to be, birth that fruit of the Spirit inside of me. And because I went through that situation, now I can tell you for a certain fact that if people come up against me now, it does not bother me. Mentally, I'm strong. It does not even affect me. Like, I can hear people say the worst things about me now, and it does not move me. It does not make me flinch. It does not affect me, because now my mind is mentally strong that it doesn't get inside of me to affect me. So this is just one example of how we can use battles to become spiritually stronger, spiritual heavyweights. And every time you go through a season, God is going to increase the weight, because He knows that by doing that, He's going to make you even stronger. So don't bend and fold under the pressure, but allow yourself to grow under the pressure and become a spiritual heavyweight. Let me tell you something. As you go through the seasons, God is going to allow you to break mold and shape, and He's going to make you so strong that the things that come against you, it's not going to shake you anymore. So when you go outside there, you are a heavyweight. You're walking like a spiritual heavyweight. Things don't wreck you anymore. They don't shake you anymore. They don't affect you anymore, because you are in a stable place in God. And that's what He wants us to do. There is a parable in the book of Luke. It's one of my favorites. There is a parable in the book of Luke that Jesus told about the vineyard. And you can go and read up about it when you get some time. And in that parable, Jesus was talking about there was a vineyard, and in the vineyard there were the trees that did not produce fruits. And the owner of the vineyard came and told the keeper of the vineyard, "Look, I'm going to cut down these trees because they're just not producing fruit." And the keeper of the vineyard said, "You know what? Give me a chance. I'm going to take care of them. Give me a little chance with them. I'm going to work on them this year. I'm going to dig around their roots." You can look for it. It's in book of Luke. "I'm going to dig around the roots, and then I'm going to dung it," meaning I'm going to put manure. "And then if after a year they don't produce fruit, or I can't remember if it's a year or whatever, but after some time, if they don't produce fruit, then you can feel free to cut them down. And when I read that scripture, the Lord started to minister to me concerning how God digs up around our roots to produce fruit, because we were all meant to birth good fruit out of us. And when God sees that we are not doing that, he causes a situation, just like it's similar how they were, that vineyard keeper was digging up around the roots. He was digging up around the roots of the tree. Just like that, God will dig us up. He will allow situations to dig us up, to affect us, to shake us up. You know, when certain situations happen, it feel like it's hitting you inside the core of your being, and that's what God wants. And the manure represents the dirty things that throw at you, an uncomfortable, unpleasant situation. Manure is unpleasant. And when it hits you to your root, it's uncomfortable and it's unpleasant, but the manure is what brings out the fruit, because the manure causes the nourishment in the tree. So this is what God is saying in a situation where you feel like you are being shaken, where you feel you're being dug up, you feel like you're being dug to your very root. It's because God is trying to birth something good out of you. Build your spiritual muscles, build your emotional muscles, to build your thinking and strengthen you and make you resilient. Because in order for us to face this world, we have to be resilient. And this morning I really felt lazy to get up and go to the gym. I was lazy, but I had to shake myself and force myself and say, listen, I gotta get up and go, because if I don't, I'm gonna stay in this place and I'm not going to achieve the results I want. So similarly, we have to really focus on what the lesson is trying to teach us, what the battle is trying to teach us. Don't waste the battle. Don't let the battle come make you bitter, but think about what it's doing to you, what it's encouraging you to become. Is it making you better? It should make you better. Don't let it make you bitter. Let it make you better, because every time we go through a fire, we come out a little bit stronger. You put that steel in the fire, the iron, you put it in the fire to make it more resilient. And God says he's putting us in the fire so that we can become resilient and strong. And when we go in the fire, guess what? Some of the things that are not good, it burns it out. There is a song that says, I want to be tried by fire. It's one of my favorite songs. I want to be tried by fire, purified. You take whatever you desire. Lord, here's my life. And if you really understand what that song is saying, is that when you go into the fire purifies, it purges, it cleanses. So in a situation that seems as though you are in the fiery furnace, ask God, what are you trying to do? Are you growing me? What are you teaching me? What are you taking out of me? Is there something that needs to come out in this situation? But it's always going to be for your good if you want it to be, and if you choose and understand that God is using these situations to grow you, to build you, to shape you, to take you to the potter's shed, to mold you, shape you, make you, break you, take out what needs to take out and put back in good things and make you spiritually stronger. So I really hope this message encouraged you today. And I hope that if you are going through a trial, that you're going to stop and you're going to say, God, what are you trying to teach me? And use that battle just like a weight training to build your spiritual muscles and become a spiritual heavyweight, so that the next time that situation comes around, trust me, it's not going to shake you. And you know what's going to happen after that as well? You're going to be able to encourage somebody else. You're going to reach back and say, hey, I've been through this and I know what it is. Stay strong and let God teach you that lesson. Let him teach you. You're going to be able to help others. When you become spiritually strong, guess what? You can help those who are not so spiritually strong and allow them to grow and reach that point as well. And it's a chain reaction as we go along life. We help each other. We build each other up. So guys, take the lesson. Don't waste the battle. Allow yourself to become a spiritual heavyweight. I really hope this blesses you today. Like and share the video, because somebody needs to be encouraged, strengthened, and empowered today. Have a great and blessed and wonderful day. Bye.